From Wall Street to Main Street, this is LALATE.
It's Evening's Crypto, and tonight we go over the top 10 cryptocurrency picks of 2020. What are the top crypto investments you should take in this market as we come off of a down market, after we come after that cryptocurrency correction this week? Which coins should you buy? Which are the best altcoins of 2021? Which are the top cryptocurrencies you should be buying? What price points should you be buying them at? And what are my price predictions for these top coins for you to be buying? This is LALATE. How are you? In a big night across the board, we're going to go over the top cryptocurrency picks. 5 coins, which I detailed last week, continue to perform well. Last week, throughout the market, Bitcoin and Ethereum were down and my picks were up. When the crash happened this week, the coins took the downdraft like every other coin. But tonight we'll check in on those coins and why the market is up and how my coins are doing. Good evening, and this is Evening's Crypto on LALATE. 2 shows per day, 1 in the morning and 1 now in the evening. Coming up after this, of course, is the live overnight feed. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Also, like this video. Share the videos on Reddit, Facebook, and Instagram. We're the fastest growing cryptocurrency channel. At 400,000 subscribers in 1 year, let's do it. 1 million next stop. Let's go over my top 6 picks, which started at 4 and then grew with 2 more. And then we'll check in on what the market is doing, and we'll go through everything across the board. First, my top 4 picks were, and still are, Polygon, Cardano, KUSAMA, Aave. My price prediction for those top cryptocurrency picks are Polygon to 3, Cardano to 3, Aave to 700, and KUSAMA to 700. I'm also recommending Synthetic and Solana. When we're going to go over in this recording what's going on with the market tonight, we'll be taking a look at Bitcoin, Ethereum. Also, we'll be looking at the chart for Dogecoin and Polygon specifically. And then we'll look at Synthetic among our new coins, which we're tracking on this channel. We'll also go into where these coins were tracking before the correction this week and where I expect them tonight. Here is how we were looking at Cardano earlier this week, and KUSAMA and Polygon and Aave. Will check in with them as well. And let's go over where things are tonight so you understand the breaking news for cryptocurrency, what happened this morning, what happened yesterday, and what could happen this weekend. First, let's understand why there was a cryptocurrency correction this week. The major issue, of course, was the announcement from China. The China announcement took the market down. China made the announcement that investment firms could no longer engage in cryptocurrency and made it very broad in their banishment. China banned financial institutions and payment companies from providing services related to cryptocurrency transactions. The official statement from China read, recently, cryptocurrency prices have skyrocketed and plummeted, and speculative trading of cryptocurrency has rebounded, seriously infringing the safety of people's property and disrupting the normal economic and financial order. With that, they allowed individuals to purchase cryptocurrency, but banned investment firms. That was the first major issue. The second one, of course, was the Elon Musk tweet, which talks about more of the environmental concerns of Bitcoin rather than the price point, that potentially some coins pose an environmental concerns to some investments. Then we had the breaking news this morning. And this morning, we saw a series of broadcast reports where leading investors who have been in the space for many, many years say that they are holding their position and that their price targets remain the same. These are their price targets. They're anticipating that Bitcoin will go to $100,000 a coin by January 2022 based upon the following belief. And this is big news, folks. They believe that if you got as little as 5 to 10% of financial institutions in the United States entering the cryptocurrency space, you will hit that $100,000 Bitcoin price. Their concept is that the brokerage, the investment banking firms, and the major banks have not rolled out into the space, and that this year will be the year, and that you only need 5 to 10% of them to see enormous gains. So now let's go over what you should anticipate going into the weekend, what you should understand where we are right now, and understand price fluctuations across the board. Here's what you need to know to start. First, when gauging and understanding the crash of this week, broadcast media used Bitcoin and Ethereum as the reference point, not the other altcoins. So what I had recommended yesterday and recommended this morning is that to ensure that there is not another market correction this week, which could certainly still happen tonight, you need to keep on watching Bitcoin and Ethereum as your focal point. Not necessarily that you're buying the coins, but as your reference point. And the warning that I gave viewers were the following, and it worked. That if Bitcoin drops to 35,000 or Ethereum drops to 2,500, then you should be very cautious in your purchase of any altcoins because that could signal a further downtick. What we were looking for is what I call the bottom. And we're looking to see how low this market would go this week. At the moment, it looks like the market crash may be the bottom because we've been trading up most of the day. And while we tried to initially test the bottom a second time, we did not. Here's the second thing to know. Time and hours of the day. Cryptocurrency has been exhibiting the following trend line over the last 7 days. The following is what's going on. First, it took the crash occurred at approximately 4 to 6 o'clock a.m. Pacific Standard Time. This morning, it downdrafted at exactly the same time again, trying to retest that market crash level. It did not drop as far, but ironically, it was exactly at the same time, which is 4 to 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which on the East Coast is about 7 to 9 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Why is that important to know that? Because, first of all, if you want to buy coins at a cheap price, be up and looking at the computer at that time because something is going on, particularly at that point of the day. That's the first thing. Second thing, if you've been with this channel now for a couple of weeks, you've seen that there is a clear fluctuation of prices between Friday, or really Thursday, to Monday. And this is what it is. Thursday and Friday go up. Saturday mornings are the highest day for pricing for the entire week, the highest price point of the entire week. And then it reaches the pinnacle at Saturday at about 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Then it downdrafts. And the downdraft is very consistent from Saturday morning at about 11 a.m. all the way into Monday. So if you wanted to buy a coin today and get out on Saturday morning, you could and make a profit. But you would not want to buy your coin at Saturday at 11 a.m. because you certainly will expect a downtick in price by Saturday afternoon into Sunday. Then we've also seen an uptick from about Sunday evening to early morning, Monday morning. So that's another price point to understand, to stay away from if you're on the buy side. But if you're on the sell side, understand that as well. All right, now let's go over what's happening tonight with coins. First, let's look at what happened this morning for reference point to understand, was there a potential attempt to reach another bottom today? And why did it not reach there? So let's start, of course, with Bitcoin and Ethereum as our reference point. So there is the crash of yesterday. I'll drop my mouse into the chart, you'll see me at the low point. It tried to test it one more time, but didn't reach it. And then this morning, it tried to downdraft early, and then since then has been on upticking. Now, if you notice, I'm on a 7-day chart. Why am I I'm on a 1-day chart? Because if I pull in really tight, this chart won't be helpful. You need to make sure that you always choose a chart that shows you where your focal point will be. So if you look at where we are right now, we are clearly down from before the downturn. At 41,000, Bitcoin is not rebounded. It is trying to rebound. But you do not want to stay in tight like this chart because you'll say, oh, everything's wonderful. No, we have not rebounded when you pull out to a larger chart. Let's now jump over to Ethereum. So Ethereum really tested the lows a first time, much more than Bitcoin. And look how less Ethereum has rebounded compared to Bitcoin. So Ethereum is still substantially down from where it was. Let's jump over now to Dogecoin. Dogecoin really has flattened out. So it is not yet upticked tonight. But look at how it compares to just a few days ago. It is still substantially down from a few days ago. That's why you don't want to look at this chart. You don't want to look at this chart and say, oh, everything is wonderful. Look how up I am. No, because you want to look out and say, by comparison, I am not still up. So will there be a potential downdraft? And if you're considering buying some of the coins like Polygon, which I recommend, is there a possibility, should you still get in at this price point, or should you be more aggressive and wait? I'll be going over that in a second, but look at Polygon in the last moments. So Polygon had a run up and then flatten out and has been trading in a range. What is a range? This is a range, a resistance level. It looks exactly like the chart I just showed you. In this chart, you see how it's just going up and down in a consistent range. There's the same situation with what's going on with Polygon right now. It's trading in a range, up and down. So there is a resistance to go to the high side and on the low side. Here is Synthetic, which is another coin I recommend. Has not rebounded much, but boy, it went really high. Look at how high it went right before it took that dive. Let's look at where it is tonight. It's trying to break out. It is in a resistance level as well. All right, so let's jump back into where these coins were when I recommended them and where they are tonight and what you should consider. My recommended coins still remain the same. These are the top crypto investments I'm recommending for May 2021. Polygon, Cardano, KUSAMA, and Aave. Let's look at where they were before the crash and what my recommendations were at the time. Polygon on last Wednesday, not this week, but last week, was 112 when I recommended it. It went to 170 on Saturday, then on Monday fell to 171, moved to 171. We'll check in on that in a second. And then Aave. My price prediction is 700. It was at 516 initially when I recommended it. It ran all the way to 610. We'll check in on that as well. KUSAMA, which like Aave is an expensive coin, but what you need to know is you're not buying the whole coin. So you can buy $10 worth of KUSAMA or Aave and still make the profit levels. And finally, Cardano. All my coins were up about 30 to 50% before the market correction. So let's jump into the split screen right now tonight and see how the market is doing and see which coins are best to purchase. If you're new to this channel, this is coinmarketcap.com on the split screen. Let me jump into coinmarketcap.com and go over where coins are going tonight. When I was on air this morning, coinmarketcap.com revealed that the market was down still significantly. There was only 3 coins, and they were Solana, Polygon, and I think Synthetic, that were both up on the 7-day and the 24-hour. That was this morning. No other coins were up both in 7-day and 24 hours. Tonight, virtually all coins are up in the 24 hours. Now, here's one message that I said earlier this morning. I'm going to repeat it probably again tomorrow, which is the following. If you go to your app or your platform, whether it's Gemini or Robinhood or coinmarketcap.com, whatever method you're using to get pricing, and you look at the 24-hour chart, do not have a victory dance based upon the 24-hour chart. And I've already seen YouTube videos make that type of video, ironically, celebrating. For example, people celebrating that Bitcoin is up 16%. What's to celebrate? It's at 41,000. So that's not to celebrate. It had been downdrafting day after day after day. It is down 16% for the 7-day. Here is an example for Ethereum. It's down 25% still for the 7-day. So it may be up 32% right now, but it is still struggling. So what I want you to know is when considering a coin, don't look at just the 24-hour window, especially after a crash, because they will be up. The question is how they are long-term. So if we look at the top 10, if we look at Cardano, how is Cardano doing tonight? That was one of my picks. Let's pull up where Cardano was before the crash and how it is doing tonight. When I recommended Cardano a week ago on Wednesday, it went up 35%. So let's see where Cardano is tonight. It went from $1.68 last Wednesday to $2.28 last Saturday, and then $2 this Monday. So where's Cardano tonight? It's still down at 187. So it's up for where I recommended it at, but it's still down from where it was just this Monday. So Cardano is still a buy. It is up 37% right today for the day, but it is still down from where it was. Dogecoin, by example, is up 35% tonight at 41 cents, which is good, but it was struggling at 30 cents throughout much of the day. Internet Computer is really trying to rebound itself. It is up 65% today, which is a lot. But here's an example of a coin that you want to be careful at looking at the 24 versus 74 hour window. Internet Computer, you may look at the 24 hours and say, "Wow, it's up 64%." It was down a lot day after day after day. So it is down still 44% for the week. So don't celebrate or think Internet Computer is so wonderful because it's up 60%. That's why I want you to be very cautious of looking at these charts after a crash. You have to look at both a wider spread chart, like a 5-day or 7-day or a month, and not just a 24-hour. Which brings me to Solana. Solana was a pick before the crash, and boy, here we go tonight. Of the top 15 coins on market capitalization, Solana is the only coin that is both up for the 7-day and up for the 24-hour window. That's how you buy a coin. That is why I recommended Solana before the correction this week, and that's why I'm recommending it tonight. Let's pull up the Solana chart, which I think I have from Gemini. Let's look at Solana. I think it's this one. Nope, that's Polygon. Maybe I don't have Solana. I do not have Solana. But there's Doge, and that's an example of how things are going. So let me pull up Solana's chart for you and go back into the split screen and explain to you how we're doing tonight on Solana. So Solana, if we're looking at the 1-day chart, it is straight up and then flat. If we're looking at the 7-day chart, so Solana really took a double dip. Boy, this is why I want you to be careful. Solana took a second dive after a first crash. It crashed once, then rebounded and crashed a second time, and then went straight up. It has since been in a trading range. So you want to be careful. How low did it go on the second crash? Solana went as low as $32. Right now, it is about $45. That's a beautiful run. I mean, wow. So could you get Solana tonight at 40? Yeah, you could be cautious. You could be very protective. And we're going to go over price in a second. But that's an example of how you don't want to just jump at something, but you also want to be protective that there's not another market correction just within a few days. And guess what is the next only coin that is up for the 7-day and the 24-hour? It is Polygon. And it is 191, which is a very interesting price point. Let's look at Polygon and how I had recommended it and what it had done during that run before the market correction. I think this one's Polygon. No, it's Aave. So here is Polygon. Polygon, a week ago on Wednesday, I recommended 112. Then on Saturday, it went to 170. Monday, it went to 171. That doesn't tell you how high Polygon actually went. So let's pull up the Polygon chart because you will see how well Polygon did before the crash. So here is Polygon before. Let me pull out to a 1-day on Polygon for you. So there's Polygon. Look how high it went, 252. Oh my goodness. So yeah, if you were a buyer of Polygon when I recommended it last week, you were doing a victory dance before that crash, 252. So where is Polygon tonight? Polygon tonight is at 189. It is up 22% for the 24-hour and up 73% for the 7-day, which are my viewers because you've been in for more than 7 days at this point. So you are sitting very pretty at its current price point of 188. You are up from where I bought it. But could Polygon give you another buying opportunity if you've never bought it? Yes. So let's go into that chart. Where has it been trading down at? Well, That double dip is very concerning. So it went as low as 140. I don't think you would have been able to buy it. But it stayed certainly at 150, 160, 170 for a while. It had that other dip on this side of the chart at 140. So, Polygon in the 150 or 160 is a huge buy. But Polygon at $2, I think it's going to, of course, my price prediction on Polygon is going to go 3. But I would be aggressive in purchasing Polygon at a great price. Again, it's currently at 188, up 21% and up 71%. Let me give you an example of how well we're doing on this channel. We're currently scrolling down on market capitalization coinmarketcap.com, and we are currently at about number 20 on market capitalization. And so far, we're at 22 on market capitalization. And so far, only 2 coins are up 7 days and up 24 hours. And which of those 2 coins? 2 of the 4 I predicted. So we're doing very good on this channel. Cardano is not up on the 7-day because it did have a correction before, it did have a downdraft before the market correction. So we are just doing incredibly great news. So now let's get to Aave, which is number 26 in market capitalization, and another pick of this channel. Let's see where Aave is. When I had recommended Aave, it immediately went up 25% to viewers at the time. Let's check and see where Aave was before the market correction. So Aave was 516 when I recommended last week. Then it went to 610 last Saturday. On Monday, it was at 574. Again, you do not have to buy the whole coin. You do not have to think you're spending $500 on the coin. Let's look at where Aave is tonight. Tonight, Aave is at 488, up 27% approximately. So it is taking a bigger hit. That is an example of how you have to be careful on a particular coin. I don't know if I have Aave's chart here. No, I don't. So that is an example of how you have to be particularly careful about coming out of a market correction. Aave is up 25%, but it's at 488. Why is it down from where even I predicted it? Because it was having trouble going into the correction, just like Cardano. And Aave is not up for the 7 days. So it is it's about 8% down. It's about flat on the 7 day. Is there any other coin in the top 40 in market capitalization that is both up for the 7-day and the 24 hours? There is none. Very, very interesting across the board. And then we go into synthetic. Let's take a look at synthetic, which is another one of the coins which I recommended. And I believe it's this chart. There we go. So synthetic, let's pull into a more recent chart. You see it's upticking here. But it did have a dive right here. And you can see with my mouse, let me jump in right there. Oh, there's synthetic. So you can see it had a clear attempt to test a new low around here. Dropped to $15 to 15 and no change. Tonight it's at about $17. How does $17 compare to where synthetic has been? Substantially down. So before the market correction, it was at $24. So you may think synthetic is a buy. Very, very cheap. It is. I mean, look at synthetic. It is not recovered yet from this crash. It is like Aave. It is not corrected yet from this crash. So look at that. It's at $17. It was not even $17 before its run up. So it hasn't been. Let's pull out even further for a reference point. So here you are. This is very important to see a chart. So $17, it wasn't this low since all the way back here. So this is how you have to be very, very careful on pricing a coin, which brings me to my next topic in tonight's video. How do you price a coin? And how do you know what price point on buying a coin? I'm very keen for viewers from a trading background to tell you to buy coins at a cheap price. Don't just buy a coin because someone recommends a coin. You have to also buy it at the right price. And I already told you what hours a day are best to buy the coin. So now let's go over how do you know if it's not the right time to buy the coin? Well, In the last 24 hours, I've told you there's a potential of another market correction. I told you there's a potential of another 10% down for this market. And I also told you to watch Bitcoin and Ethereum while tracking your altcoin before making the purchase on the altcoin. Because if Ethereum falls under 2,500 or falls to 2,500, and if Bitcoin falls to 35,000, you will know that your altcoin is taking a downdraft. And you got to be careful about purchasing that altcoin at that downdraft. Here's what's also important to know is that some coins have been flight out to Bitcoin into those altcoins. And that narrative started 2 days ago, where a lot of analysts were talking about people fleeing out of Bitcoin into Solana, and it's continuing. So you see, if you look at certain charts where Bitcoin is down and Solana is up, and Solana goes up more after the crash than a synthetic, there's a reason by it. There's not just the fact that the coin is just getting more popular or anything like that. So you want to be very keen on making sure your purchase point is important. And the difficult thing with cryptocurrency compared to stocks is that they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So unlike stocks where you can give yourself, early morning to 1 o'clock on the 1 o'clock in the afternoon on the West Coast, and you're done. If you don't get that price, then you got to wait for the next day. In the case of cryptocurrency, you're continually worried that I could have gotten it $2 cheaper if I stayed up another 3 hours. There's always that loss opportunity mindset across the board. Here's what you need to know is that if you are in for a 3 or 6 month run on your coin, and that is it, a short-term run on your coin, you want to make a 30%, 100%, 200%, 300%, 500% return your money and then get out, then that is your price, that is your focal point. You do not have to do an expensive coin to do that. We can do it with a cheap coin and an expensive coin. So long as you pick the right coin and you pick it at the right price. You can see how even choosing a synthetic in just the right price point, you can make let's look at it right here. You can make an almost $3 gain on your money in just a few hours just because you took your time making the purchase price. So then, should you also be long-time holders? Well, long-time holders would make sense for Bitcoin and Ethereum if you get them cheap. So would I buy a Bitcoin at 41,000? No, I would wait till it gets into the mid-30s or low 30s. Do I think it's going to get there? At some point, I think you'd be patient. You're going to get there. Ethereum, is it going to get into the 2,500? Yeah, I think it will. Just be patient. If that's the long-term buy you want to make, just be ready to pounce and get it right away. But when we talk about these short-term purchases, absolutely. Here's what I want you to know is that I don't want you to be in a coin that is down. And I was speaking to a friend yesterday who has a coin that has been down for a long time, for many, many weeks. And that there's nothing worse than having a coin that's down week after week after week, like a Doge, that is just down after down after down after day. And you may say, I'm going to make a lot of money in a few months. You want to be able to make your money before someone else does. So the example is you buy a coin and after 3 months, you're only up 10%, and someone else during that same time in 3 months is up 300%. You don't want to sit back and talk about the narrative of how much money you're going to make. Well, I'm going to be in there in the long run. No, you want to make the money on the come. And so that's why you got to pick coins that make movements and hold those movements. So tonight, ironically, in a sea of coins across the land, when you look at the top coins on market capitalization of the top 50, there's literally only really 2 or 3 major coins that are both up for the 1 day and up for the 7 day. And those are among the coins which I've recommended on the channel. And that's why I'm staying with those picks tonight. They are Polygon and Solana remain big hits and great performing coins tonight. My other picks remain in place as well. Cardano, KUSAMA, Aave, and Synthetic. But of those 6 coins, Polygon, Cardano, KUSAMA, Aave, Solana, and Synthetic, Polygon and Solana remain the best performing coins day after day, going into the pandemic and coming out of the, going into the market crash. Sorry about that. And coming out of the market crash. Ultimately, could there be another market correction in the next 7 days? Yes. How far down could we go? Another 10%. Should you be careful going into the weekend? Absolutely. I do not want you buying high and taking that dive down thereafter. I want you to remember, again, that Saturday morning is the pinnacle of pricing in this market every week. It starts on Thursday, goes right up to Saturday morning, and then by Saturday noontime, it just goes down all the way into late Sunday. So don't take that ride. Don't get confused between a dip and also a slide. Here is the graphic on the slide. This is a slide. This is a dip. It dips for just a short period of time and comes back up. And this is a trading range, going up, going down. You don't make money in this. You're not going to make any money because it doesn't go up enough and it just goes up and comes right back down. You're not going to make any money in this either. Rather, this is where you're going to make money, the dip, where it goes down for just a few hours or an hour or 2 hours and you make your money. Don't be frustrated if you miss a dip. Sometimes these platforms do not allow you to buy fast enough, and that ultimately you may wonder, why couldn't I buy it at that dip? It's just because sometimes the dip is not, the system does not allow you to buy at the dip. Even if you buy on the uptick, grab it if that's where you think you need to be. And with that, thank you for joining me on tonight's Crypto Evening. It's been a big night across the board, and I'm really excited for you. What's important to understand is that I want you to share these videos on Facebook, share them on Instagram, Reddit. Tell people to come on over. The overnight show has been a big blockbuster hit. I'm always in the live chat, so say hello and interact with me. And I'll see you tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time with Morning's Crypto, the latest news and the latest trades. I'll be tracking all the coins with you. So subscribe. I want you part of this channel. Also like this video and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Keep on growing. 400,000 subscribers, YouTube record in 1 year. Let's head to 1 million. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay with LA for more.